TMZ story today, we're talking George Floyd autopsy report. So I want to show you two different things here. Now, first of all, before we get into this, it's a little something that caught my eye up in the top of it. A little sidebar here. J.R. Smith beats the hell out of an alleged car vandalizer during LA protests. It's a pretty funny video. I think JR took it easy on him. He's a pro basketball player. I don't know if he retired yet or if he's still active, but it's a big dude. 6'6", 245, and he wore this dude out. Went easy on him, though. The dude looked like one of these pencil neck Antifa geeks, but he got into him pretty good. So check that video out just for laughs. George Floyd was on fentanyl, died from heart attack, says medical examiner. George Floyd had fentanyl in his system when he was killed and died from a heart attack, according to the medical examiner. The Hennepin County Medical Examiner released its toxicology findings and say George Floyd died from cardiopulmonary arrest, which complicated law enforcement's subdual, restraint, and neck compression of him. That is critical, but the report also says this under how the injury occurred. It says George experienced a cardiopulmonary arrest while being restrained by law enforcement. In other words, he suffered a heart attack while they were arresting him, and that complicated their efforts to subdue him. The report says George had fentanyl in his system, and they also found signs of recent methamphetamine use. It also says his manner of death is homicide. The results were released just hours after the Floyd family's independent autopsy showed he died from mechanical asphyxia due to Derek Chauvin's knee on his neck and another officer on his back. So, let's take a look at that. Both of these sources will be linked in the archive if you want to read the full article. That one was actually the end of it for that one. Now this is Yahoo. It's a Reuters article, it looks like here. Floyd family autopsy could help accused policeman's defense, legal experts say. That title alone piqued my interest, so I wanted to give this a read real quick. An independent autopsy that found George Floyd died solely from asphyxiation could actually bolster the defense of the former Minneapolis police officer charged with killing him, legal experts say. The autopsy released on Monday said Floyd's death, which sparked nationwide protests, was a homicide, and that he had no underlying medical conditions. Okay, I see where they're going. Later on Monday, the Hennepin County Medical Examiner released details of its autopsy findings that also said Floyd's death was a homicide caused by asphyxiation, but that he had possible underlying health conditions and intoxicants in his body that may have been contributing factors in his death. On the surface, the independent autopsy would seem to bolster the prosecution's case against Derek Chauvin, but legal experts said it could do the opposite by creating confusion in the mind of a jury. And remember, they just need one, right? It will be part of the defense strategy to say they can't even get the cause of death right, said Gerald Lefcourt, a criminal defense attorney, and obviously he would know. That's something that he would definitely be looking for, and he would definitely play that in court, right? An independent report was prepared for the Floyd family by Dr. Alicia Wilson of University of Michigan and Dr. Michael Baden, who has worked on several high-profile murder cases. Graphic video footage shows Chauvin, who was white, pressing his knee into Floyd's neck. They're supposed to say he's black. Right there. Right there. Floyd, a 46-year-old, there it is, grasped for air and repeatedly groaned, "Please, I can't breathe," while bystanders shouted at police to let him up. And you saw the video, not a single one of them did anything about it. Just sat there and watched that man die. Chauvin was charged on Friday with third-degree murder and manslaughter. He has been fired from the Minneapolis Police Department. Of course, we know that. The article goes on a little bit further. Again, it'll be linked if you want to read that. But something here, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, who is leading the prosecution, is not obligated to use the independent autopsy or introduce it as evidence at trial. That's good to know, right? That's something interesting, strategy, right? It's going to come into play on both sides, so we'll see if he does indeed use that report. Now, I have no legal experience. I haven't even sat on a jury, but my feeling is that he would probably, we're talking about the whole prosecution, would probably use it. They would use it because it is in favor of their client. They would use it because it does strengthen the case against Derek, but use it in such a way to try to, make it work together with the medical examiner's report. So this independent independent examination, along with the ME for the county, trying to put those two together and kind of trying to get the jury to link those two together. Whereas the defense, they definitely would want to hammer away at the individuals who were hired as independent, right? Now, part of that may be, okay, well, this guy Bodden and whoever that other person was, they have been hired 100 times to work as independent, but 99 times out of that 100, they've sided with the individual who's paying their bill. Now, again, I'm just throwing stuff out there. I don't know that's the case, but that would be something the defense would try to hammer away at, right? Credibility of the independent examination. And another thing they would try to hammer at is that cause of death, right? Look, you have these people out here claiming to be independent and experts, but they don't even agree with the medical examiner for the county. So, jury, who do you believe more, right? So that's probably how they're going to want to try to frame it. I don't know what you think. I mean, they really, if I were sitting on a jury, obviously we don't know all of the facts right now because we're only told what the media wants us to hear. But if I'm sitting on a jury, I'm probably going to have to hear a whole heck of a lot more than this at this point to kind of move the needle either way. And I think that most people on the jury, having seen the video, side note, how do you find 12 individuals who are impartial at this point? Is the county the best place for this? Are they going to be able to get the venue changed? How do you find anybody who hasn't seen the video, who doesn't have a feeling about it one way or another? Can you imagine that jury questionnaire? How is that in that selection process? How's that going to work? Oh my goodness. I don't know. Just a little small thing there, short video. I just wanted to show everybody that if you hadn't really seen both sides of it and how they're saying that it could be a good thing for the prosecution, it could be a good thing for the defense, right? And that's what it's going to come down to. Who's got the most credible or reliable, believable, independent witnesses, right? Or independent experts who can put on the best show for the jury. We'll see what else comes out with this. Stay safe out there, everybody. Thanks for watching the video. Take care.